Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. This week we get a look at the biodomes coming with Microtech's landing zone. Mission sharing is getting close, plus we hear more regarding future mission content. So a big thank you to Anach, who became my latest patron this week. Thank you so much for your support. If you do enjoy my videos and would like to help make them better, follow the link to my Patreon page below. So inside Star Citizen this week, took a first look at Microtech and New Babbage, which is the landing location at Microtech. It is within a biodome to allow the light to come in and keep the environment breathable. They've got lots of big plants that can grow there because of this, which we saw in a previous Inside Star Citizen. It's currently in the white boxing stage. We did get to see the New Babbage Plaza. Everything is centralized around the Microtech sort of flagship store. Nothing final that you're seeing yet. It's a lot of work in setting up the shops. The narrative team are also getting a list of what they expect from a lore standpoint. It is looking really nice. I can't wait to see more of this. It's a pretty small biodome by the looks of things, but it'll be great to see them expand on other areas of New Babbage, including like residential areas and offices and other locations. After that, they spoke a little bit about component misfires. So basically, when a component misfires, it's a fault in the behavior of an item, which is a consequence of the player's actions with that item. If you don't maintain it, it'll begin to play up and not work properly. To convey this to the player, they have added a HUD UI notification, kind of like a warning on a dashboard of your car. The items currently that will be affected are the power plants, shields, thrusters and coolers, and I think weapons as well. The reason for this is they want consequences to long-term misuse of items. Ships will develop a character as you use them, adding personality and making you think more about your actions. Critical misfires won't just happen straight away, it will be balanced, but things like heat, distortion, degradation and damage are how they will be affected. This is one of my favourite aspects of Star Citizen. Everything will feel like it belongs to us. Seeing and feeling age and damage over time will just bring so much more personality to our ships that you'll really feel like you own them and want to care for them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that getting more developed. To finish off with, on Inside Star Citizen, the lore team looked at the lore. So they had a quick chat regarding the new lore system of 3.6. It's the first step into creating the lore of the verse and each individual jurisdiction from planet to planet. Basically, it adds consequence to activities. There's lots of layers to the lore. The UEE and the advocacy enforce the main set of laws, and then each planet can tweak those laws how they see fit, but within reason. They can't go completely over the top. Area 18 at ArcCorp have the Blackjack security. Crusader have their own security. Lawville also have their security, who run under their own umbrella of laws. Something legal in one area may not be legal in another. So, for example, Lawville is very much your Iron Fist prison-like location, whereas Microtech has a more relaxed approach. They said it's, think along the lines of places like Silicon Valley, where it allows more creativity and thus has a larger party scene, so some drugs may be legal in Microtech, whereas Lawville they're not. Down the road, they will get the laws for each location into like a separate app on your mobiGlas to allow you to look ahead of time what the laws are, where you're going. But I love the idea of maybe smuggling drugs out of locations like Hurston and then taking it to Microtech, avoiding the law where you can. That should be quite fun. But that was Inside Star Citizen. Let me know your thoughts, guys. So Star Citizen Live this week had a chat with the mission feature team. Now they're currently working on a fine payment kiosk for the lore system, further developing the hacking system and implementing the cave system. The first question was, when will we be able to share missions with friends and split the payment? Now they say they have a very bare bones system set up now for co-op missions, which is promising for this week. They've literally worked on it this week and it looks very promising. They've tested the system with the missions and most of them work really well. They was able to play a delivery mission and it all worked fine, but they're not sure when it will come online as it is a mission by mission basis. So hopefully not too long, but they have to go through each mission individually and just set it up properly. Someone asked, will we have fully handmade story missions rather than just generated missions? And they say yes, 100%. This will likely coincide with mission givers, especially. They want to now focus on organisations within the verse, not our own personal organisations, but working with organisations in the game building reputations with them, which will in turn open up more missions, but also if you work with one mission giver, it could obviously give you a negative rep with another mission giver. They're looking into taking the PI Wanted mission a little further and developing it out, making it more of a skill-based thing, so, you know, there are other possible contacts and choices, and someone could contact you and try and ask you to give the wrong information and give you more personal choice behind things. There will be ways to improve it by using the systems that they now have. Maybe an email system to read through and figure out for yourself and then decide what information to submit, framing the guy instead of making him look innocent. I'm really looking forward to these handmade missions. Obviously they take a lot longer than procedurally generated missions, but they are far more immersive, and I'm just excited to see what they have in the plans. Now, someone just asked what's the update with caves and what missions can we see with caves. As they say, they are beginning to implement caves now, but they want missions to use caves as well, so maybe having AI combat inside, maybe a missing person who has crawled into the cave, even some mining with inside the cave as well. Some of them will be inhabited or explored or not explored, and there's a lot of potential there for caves. Nothing too specific, but I'm sure what we already have now can be implemented in caves as well. Someone asked, will we ever get planet-only missions? And like the Pacheco mission, where you go planet-side, but a company may require some resources that require you to go and find those resources. They also said that when weather comes online, it'll force players to drive or proceed on foot rather than flying, which is something they do want to encourage. But also caves will mean maybe, you know, you can't take your ship into the cave if it's too small and you'll need to wander through yourself. So there's plenty of scope for planet-only missions, and hopefully we will begin to see them sooner rather than later. Someone asked about paying off fines in the future. Is it always going to have to be in person, or can we do a wire transfer? Now, they say the current plan for Tier 1 is having a terminal, which they said they're working on. You will need to go to the office and just pay the fine off using this terminal. They did say that obviously players will likely be able to transfer money to other people, so they think there's a potential for being able to pay fines off in the same way, but they can't answer that for certain. Someone asked what happens if we don't pay fines. Now, the plan is for fines to turn into unpaid fine felonies. In 3.7, you will be able to pay off fines with the kiosk. If you don't, then it will become from a misdemeanor to a felony, and you can eventually get arrested for that. They did say that when bounty hunters turn up, AI this is, they will likely warn you to surrender first, and if you then do not, they'll proceed to get a little more murderous, I expect. A bit more like debt collectors rather than just bounty hunters. Someone asked a question about what tech is most exciting to help create better missions, and they say things like mining and trading. Once it's further developed, it will make it a lot better. Melee, localized inventory, being able to do big cargo trade runs as well. There's a lot of tech being worked on, and it all helps play into helping create better missions. The new building block stuff that they are now using to create the missions is really helping to make missions better as well. No longer are we going to see things like inner thought popped on screen as well, as the interactions will be actually pressing the visible options on the MFDs rather than having these floating words, which I really like. That I'd much prefer to get away from inner thought and go straight to the if you see it you can touch it kind of aspect. Someone asked if creating cave missions is actually challenging, and they say they just need to make sure that it all makes sense to the environment, like boxes spawning inside. They need to make sure that the box that is inside had a way of getting in there, so if the entrance is a crawlable entrance and boxes can't pass through it, then there shouldn't be anything in there. It's all about just making it work with the environment so that you're not questioning everything. Someone wanted to know what their thoughts of PvP missions are we going to see more of them? And they say it's great to pit players against each other, but they do want to sort of make it so you're aware that a mission will have a potential PvP element to it. Obviously, any mission could become a PvP mission, but there will be some missions that are more prone to it than others, and I think they want to portray that. They were asked what their vision for the future hacking gameplay is, and they say that they want an easy option for those who don't really want to get involved in it much, but also having something difficult for those who want to make it into a career. So kind of easy to learn, difficult to master, which is kind of across the board for Star Citizen. They also want to set up a PvP hacking system where you can catch others out and stop them from hacking a system and then counter-stop them and so on. But they want to go deep, but also have systems which are easy, like hacking a door, for example. They don't want hacking a door, which could just be an easy thing to do within a mission. They don't want it to be so complicated that only those who are amazing at it can get in. But I do like the idea of if you have someone on board in your crew who is renowned as a hacker, it would be great to have them help you gain entry to things or help you gain access to things. Anyway, next question is, will they add other rewards like items or reputation rather than just monetary rewards? And they say they definitely want to do this, but this relies heavily on features which aren't there yet. Persistence and locations to store things, for example. Reputation will vary as you do missions for factions, but they would like missions like the Tisha one that loan you a ship, or maybe even give you a uniform to wear. I think this is going into the organisation side of things, but I'm down for that. I like the idea of getting items and components, or items that you can keep and store and show off or use, rather than just UEC all the time. Someone asked if there'll be mission givers found really deep inside caves, and they say yes, of course. Side mission givers could be found in unique locations. People like hermits or archaeologists that require you to do a random mission for them. And I like the idea of stumbling across people, AI, that are just going about their own business and then ask you for help. Will missions have multiple paths? This was mentioned a while ago, and they say yes. Maybe halfway through a mission you discover something which changes everything, or maybe you have a moral decision, do you save them or kill them or take that from them? Missions are just not complex at the moment, but as they get new features they will build objectives around these features, and there will be branching missions. I really look forward to the idea of what we saw with Clovis Darneely, where any scenario could come out of the mission and it's not always going to play out the same. Someone was asking about player-generated missions, and is this still the plan? And they say yes. An example of this is you could have a delivery mission to pick up and drop off a box. You could allow another player to do that mission for you, or you could say, if you're in this area, can you pick up this box for me? And they'll bring it to you, and then you can drop it off to the location you're going. And there's other ways of doing this. That is a very simple way of putting it. But they'd still want to have players generating missions, and I do feel like that'll be likely the one of the higher percentages of missions that we do take are our own generated missions. As an org especially, we'll always have missions out there for cargo haulers, miners, security, all these different aspects of Star Citizen that are created by ourselves and being paid by ourselves, with just using the tools that CIG allow us to. Someone asked where Tessa is, Tessa Bannister, and they say they've got new lines recorded for her, but they need something worthy for her to bring her back. So science or scanning missions, when they come online, we will likely see Tessa again. Will we see additional shipwrecks for investigating missions? And they say yes, as they get new wrecks, they will continue to include them into the missions, but they just require a lot more work, as wrecks need to be traversable, they need to make sense. The 890 jump wreck will be a lot of fun to explore, they said, which with its size, it's going to be incredible. But they are actually working on getting an FPS combat mission into a derelict starfarer, but there is also an FPS mission on board an 890 jump coming. Hopefully that will come with the 3.6 interim patch, which does sound very exciting, but they haven't really digressed much about it. Next question is, will we see mining missions or maybe ship-specific profession missions? And they say yes, they would like missions like maybe go and get X amount of gold in this amount of time, and then you're left to your own ability and knowledge of where to find gold to fulfill that mission. There'll also be ones that maybe give you a bit of a helping hand in finding a location to mine. Also, trading consoles need to get remade in the buildings block system, which will ramp up development as devs can then add the UI rather than having to wait for the UI team to catch up. Jared did say we will, in the next couple of weeks, get an update on the building blocks so we can see what it all involves, which I'm excited to see. Second to last question, will we be able to hack bunker air defences to stop the turrets from firing at us? And they say, yes, I expect so. First, they want to do this for comm arrays, maybe creating a blind spot or turning them against others, but it'll likely come to bunkers as well. And then the final question is, missions are currently unreliable. What is happening? Now, they did say it's not always the mission that's broke. It could be a number of issues throughout the mission that apply to different areas of the game and other developers. Everyone is obviously working hard to try and eradicate these bugs though. Anyway, that was the Star Citizen Live. A very interesting look into missions. One area I am excited to see more of. Do let me know what your thoughts are and let me know what missions you want. So also this week, there is a commercial script for an Inverse show called The Avenger. I do wonder if we'll get to watch that when we're in the game one day. The Anvil Ballista got its Q&A. Plus, for anyone interested in Star Citizen merchandise, there is a survey to vote on what you want to see. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share the video with all your friends. If you like what I do and want to help me make it better, follow the link below to my Patreon page to learn more.